copy.
Okay, Doug, you there? We're going to reverse that GPA and go away from me like 30 centimeters.
Okay, copy that. You want motion station forward or pallet away from you 30 centimeters. Stand by.
Stay firm.
Here comes motion.
Copy. It's good motion.
Good motion.
Okay, Giles, I will ingress the APFR.
Okay, that maneuver is complete. Anything else?
Yeah, hold that. I might need it. I just want to assess the battery. We removed the adapter plate, so the distance is a little different.
Copy. Standing by. Brakes are still off, so no working on the pallet.
Copy that.
Chrissy gets ready to pass a couple words to Bob.
Yes. NGCA for now.
Copy. NGCA.
Don't do your brakes yet.
Okay, Bob, I see you're getting in the APFR. You just want to make sure that the gap spanner is clear, slot 2, and you can reach the PGT with the hex driver as you do that.
Thanks, Seth. Gap spanner is clear. And I have ingressed the APFR. Okay, Doug, this is good. You can do your brakes.
Okay, copy that. NGCA. Brakes are on. You're clear to maneuver.
Copy that. Coming in. And our PGT is accessible.
And Chris, I think I copied you're done with the GCA, so you're going to retrieve the batteries from the BRT with H2 in your right hand, and you'll soft dock it, and then PGT settings are alpha 7, clockwise 2.
Okay, 7, clockwise 2.
And Bob, for you, once you make sure your ingress aid is tucked and your tethers are clear, you can inspect the IAA bolts and blind mate connectors.
The IEA bolts look clear to me. There's a little bit of scuffing on the H2 side. Maybe that's just a lubricant on the outer housing.
Okay, yep, and I've confirmed there is a lubricant there. And so looking for
H2.
No FOD and good EMI band and blind mate connectors. Copy, Chris.
Yep, just getting a good body position to see that. Good EMI band and no FOD in the connectors. The 2 connectors.
Again, Cassidy is now working to install the old battery in the slot he just emptied for disposal, while Bob Behnken translates back to the truss to install the adapter plate in open slot number 2.
Okay. Green torquing light. 17 turns. I see the indicators in lock. Feel secure.
And Chris, could you say the torque again?
9.1 on the actual torque.
Copy, 9.1. With that, you could stow the PGT, release the RET, and egress the APFR.
Copy all.
Okay, good EMI band, no fault in the electrical connectors or the 2-bolt interfaces on the battery adapter plate. On the upside,
Copy, Bob.
flip it over to the downside.
A-firm, you want the blind mate connectors oriented station inboard, and you'll soft dock the adapter plate into slot 2.
Copy.
Does any work with scoops?
Checking. Negative, Chris. You can leave the scoops where they are.
Copy that. I'm egressing.
Okay, the adapter plate is soft docked.
Copy that, Bob. You can retrieve the PGT with the hex driver. That's the one that's on battery 4, and settings will be alpha 7, clockwise 2. And Chris, for you, as you get back on structure, you'll want to prepare the EP for translation, so make sure the ingress aid is stowed towards the boot plate and tethers are clear. And then once you're 5 feet clear of the external pallet, you can give SSRMS the go to maneuver to the EP Bravo position.
Okay. The ingress aid is against the boot plate. Okay, Doug. I am well clear. No tethers, no interference. You're clear to move.
Copy, Chris. Clear the work site. Here comes the maneuver. It's a EP work site Bravo. It'll be another starboard maneuver, about a little over a meter.
Okay, copy.
Okay, Jaws, I've got alpha 7 set and clockwise 2 set. I'm getting ready to drive on H2.
A-firm H2, you'll confirm 1 line flush, looking for 16 to 17 turns.
1 line flush. Looking for 16 to 17 turns. Here we go. Okay, 17 and a half turns, green light, 9.6 on the torque for H2.
Copy, Bob. Same settings, alpha 7, clockwise 2 for H1. You'll confirm 2 lines, one of them flush.
And Cassidy just completed the work to install the old battery in the slot that was emptied for disposal, and Bechtken is still working to install the adapter plate in open slot number 2 on the truss.
Confirmed 2 lines, one of them flush, verified, and can you say again number of turns?
It'll be 4.5 to 5.5 turns.
So 5 turns, green light, 9.0 on this work.
Copy, Bob. You can tend that PGT with the hex driver back to the crew lock bag and then unlock and release the red.
Copy. And Chris, I had to leave the adjustable on the battery there, so to move over here, I couldn't reach that other hook, so I'll let you get this.
Got it. And it's adjustable.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah. And then that can go to the crew lock bag, is what Jaws said.
Read coming off of battery 4. Yeah, adjustable.
And Jaws, can you verify we removed the adjustable from the PGT to take it back to the crew lock bag?
Affirm. You can remove the adjustable.
Okay. So the adjustable stays with the PGT.
Stays with the PGT.
Yeah, you'll leave the adjustable on the PGT, so the PGT with the adjustable will go back to the crew lock bag.
And that's complete. Right, John, I'm just arriving at the work site and looking to tag out.
Okay, copy, Chris. So next we'll be working the TA clamps and the AP connectors. Bob, over to you if you prefer to egress the APFR, and if there's room for both of you to work it, we're releasing 3 TA clamps and demating the adapter plate connector.
I'm going to go ahead and egress the APFR and then release the TA clamps. And we're just taking this electrical connector to release it from J4. Are we ready for that yet? Yep, to the battery up there at J4.
Yep, affirm. And the cap also needs to be moved from the lithium-ion battery.
You want to take the cap off, Chris? I'll get the TA clamps.
Got the cap.
And then I'll pass you the electrical connector.
J4 cap is removed.
And that cap's going to be going to the adapter plate where Bob's removing that connector.
Measure that.
TA clamps are removed. Got the electrical connector.
I've got the electrical connector. Actually, can you hold it for a second? I need to get myself in a good position. Right.
Just to recap the last task completed by the crew, the new lithium-ion battery from slot A was installed in slot number 1. The crew then worked to remove the battery in slot number 2 and translated it over to the external pallet where Cassidy removed an adapter plate and handed it off to Benken. Benken then translated to the truss to install the adapter plate in open slot number 2, while Cassidy then installed the old battery in the slot that was emptied for disposal. Next, together on the integrated electronics assembly, Cassidy and Benken will place a cable between the adapter plate and the new battery to complete the circuit.
Spinner is clear. Needed over center. I see the blue lines lined up.
Copy, good connection, and that connector cap that you took off will go on the adapter plate.
Okay.
And the connector cap is reinstalled on the adapter plate.
Copy. With that, we'll take glove, hat, and gauntlet checks from both of you.
And once that cable between the adapter plate and the new battery are complete to complete the circuit, one of the 3 battery pairs will be complete.
Copy, Chris.
All good. All good.
Gauntlets are up for ED2. Good hat check, and gloves still look to be in good shape.
Okay, good checks, Bob. Okay, next, big picture, we're going to be moving the battery from slot 3 onto the adapter plate you just installed in slot 2. So, Chris, if you can verify the PGT with the hex driver is clear of slot 3, and that the adapter plate...
Before we get started on that, Jaws, I'm sorry, before we get started on that, Chris, what do you think about that electrical cable? It's kind of right on. We're going to... Maybe we can put a twist in it or something, or...
Yeah, it's kind of,
And if you want to put a twist in it, stand by. Do not disconnect it right now.
Copy.
I think we can hold it out of the way if that's what we need to do. I just wanted to...
Okay, so definitely we got to watch it.
But also just adjustable it out of the way there on the scoop there and clean that up later.
Yeah, we see you're using the bumper right now. If that holds, you're good, or you can use an adjustable or whatever else you need to hold it out of the way.
What do you think?
If you think it's good and we've got 2 people, we just may have to stay here until we get it locked. I think that's an exciting. I think it's going to stay.
I think it's going to stay. Yeah.
I'm ready for APFR settings, Josh.
Okay, you're going to roll the APFR to Foxtrot. And Chris, for you, I see you've already checked that connector cable, and then just making sure the PGT with the hex driver is clear of slot 3. And then you can reposition to the outboard radiator side of the IEA for the PGT transfer and to assist Bob if he needs it.
All right. Yeah, PGT, slot bag, clear.
Copy.
Got the top spinner to deal with, Bob.
We can
slide it around.
And I see, Bob, you're working that gap spinner, and Chris, we're going to want your RET attached to the battery tether point for the battery in slot 3.
Okay. Up again. have a right. See that you're ready to the battery? Yep.
Copy, Chris. And Bob, once you're ingressed, make sure the ingress aid's tucked, your tethers are clear, and then we'll take a serial number.
Copy. Ingress aid is tucked. Serial number 0091.
Copy, good serial number. Chris, you can hand the ratchet wrench to Bob. And Bob, you'll be going to H1 first.
I'm ahead of myself.
You want to do H1 since you're right in front of you?
I can. I just need to reconfigure my body. That tape looks safe, but down and seated.
Good to me.
H1, torque broken.
Copy, H1's broken. Go to H2, same thing, confirm socket tape line's flush, less than 1 turn.
H2. Socket tape is flush. Torque is broke.
Copy. And with that, we're 3 hours into the EVA. Limiting consumable is Medox on Bob at 6:30, and you're about an hour and 30 minutes ahead on the timeline. So with that, we still expect to be able to get the first block of EVA 2 done with battery A to EP Bravo and adapter plate Bravo to slot 4 on the IEA.
Okay, we copy all. Thanks for that big picture.
Okay, PGT settings are Alpha 7, counter 2.
Alpha 7, counter 2.
You'll go to H1, confirm the socket tape line is flush, and looking for 8 turns.
Socket tape line is flush. Comes to turns. Indicators moving. There's 8 turns. It started clicking about 5 turns, so it should be well released.
Okay, and indicators unlocked?
Indicator is unlocked.
Copy, same settings, Alpha 7, counter
Now
2.
3 hours into today's spacewalk, the crew is running an hour and a half ahead of the original timeline. With one of the 3 battery pairs complete, Bechtel and Cassidy will now move to slot 3 to remove the next aging battery. This battery will be stowed on the adapter plate in slot 2, where it is no longer needed to function. And you just heard Ground IV Jasmine McBelly tell the crew they're considering tackling the first block of EVA 2, running this far ahead of schedule.
Is this smooth?
There's 19 turns. I believe it's unlocked. The indicator shows unlocked.
Copy, you can hand that PGT back to Chris and remove the battery from soft dock. Chris, you can stow the PGT back in your swing arm.
Okay, it's in work.
I'll pull it out once you're in a good position, Chris.
Yeah, okay. GT load. Far enough away for you to get it out?
I think you probably need to move.
I think one more over.
Yeah, a little bit tricky because I'm kind of biased towards the H2 side with this APFR setting. go there too far, but just enough to be clear.
All right.
Okay.
Tell me when you want me to grab it.
Okay, you can take it.
Okay.
You got it?
I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery.
Okay, Bob, you're going to make sure your ingress aid's tucked, and then you're rolling the APFR into position to put you in front of H2 of the adapter plate you just installed on slot 2.
Copy.
Cable come up.
Yep.
Send the cable once you get back in there and sit.
Yeah, I'm back in.
Bob, you'll check the gap spanner is clear and the ingress aid is clear of slot 2.
The ingress aid is clear, and we'll make sure that I get the battery from Chris, we'll control a little bit of the gap spanner.
Bengken and Cassidy have now removed the aging battery from slot 3. This battery will now be stowed on the adapter plate in slot 2, where it is no longer needed to function.
It's kind of all fins on this side.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I'm in a bit of a... There we go. You get it? Thank you.
Okay, let me reposition my... You can come off. I've got control.
You have control.
If you can just take control for a second, I'll put my wrist.
Yep, I have control.
You have control? Okay, I have control.
You have control. Work into position here.
And Bob, you want H2 in your right hand or station inboard. You're going to soft dock the battery onto H2. And for your essay, we're going to have a handover in about 30 seconds.
All right, Bob, I've got the cable. I've got the gap spanner.
Okay.
All back. A little down. About 8 inches towards your feet. There you go. Looks lined up. You're lined up.
Again, Bengken and Cassidy have removed the aging battery from slot 3. This battery will now be stowed on the adapter plate in slot 2, where it is no longer needed to function. Cassidy and Bengken will return to the pallet to retrieve battery B, and they'll translate back to the truss and together install it in empty slot number 3.
You know if you want me to put my hands on it and help, or I don't want to interact. Okay, I think that's lined up.
That's definitely not going on. How about, can you BRT to that,
BRT to the scoop.
To that scoop?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to come out of the APFR and go to the
Other side.
other side. Okay.
I'm at it.
I'm going to come out of the APFR.
Copy. That's lined up.
You think that's lined up?
I really do, yeah. I'm looking right along this black line that lined up the bumper plate.
Okay, it's probably just the adapter plate height.
The height, I think so. Cable is not interfering at all.
Okay.
I think you're good.
Okay. Thank you. This doesn't feel like much of a soft dock.
No, it really doesn't.
And Chris and Bob, we have heard that previously, so.
Okay, so I think I'm ready for the
PGT coming your way.
Okay, Bob, settings are alpha 7, clockwise 2, and for your essay, the pair you just installed had a good checkout.
Great. Good news, thank you. Alpha 7, clockwise 2, and H2.
A-firm, and you're confirmed the socket tape line is flush, looking for 16 to 17 turns.
Okay, the socket tape line is flush. Chris, watch closely to, of course, making sure it's going in.
Yeah.
Here we go. Torqued out immediately.
Okay, copy, stand by.
It's going in. Yep, it's going smooth.
There's just been a little bit of a kink there.
Yeah. Yeah, nice and smooth, going in.
Yeah, it looks traveling smooth to me.
Yep, I agree.
Okay, there's lock, torque out, green light, 9.4, 16 and a half turns.
Copy, Bob. Same settings, alpha 7, clockwise 2 for H1, looking for 4 to 5.5 turns.
On H1, 4 to 5.5 turns on alpha 7, clockwise 2. Here it comes. Four and a half turns, green light, 9 on the torque, 0.0.
Copy, and status indicator?
It is locked.
Okay, you can hand that PGT back to Chris to stow on his swing arm and release the ret.
Chris has the PGT and here's your ret.
All right. I'll just take this scoop straight in front of me.
Okay. And should I collect the scoop in front of me as well? Yes?
We're taking the scoop from H1 only. And that's going to be going over
H1
to
only.
the
Okay.
DCSU.
I have the scoop from H1.
You want me to put the scoop back on H2? I can move it to someplace.
Checking.
After I get the scoop, can I egress the APFR?
A-firm, Bob, you can egress. We're going to be relocating that scoop to the DCSU and rolling the APFR to Foxtrot.
Okay.
Jaws, confirm you want me to leave this scoop on H2. I already have it off. I'll put it back on if that's what you'd like.
We're looking for the next location for it. Stand by.
That soft-dock is a little bit, yeah, it's kind of there, but it doesn't engage very far.
Yeah. It's not obviously.
It's definitely not obviously. You're trapping ingress aid there right underneath your belly.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, I moved it on you.
And Chris, you can either leave the H2 scoop there if you think it's going to be needed for body positioning, or you can move it to battery 4 at H1.
Okay, battery 4H1.
It'll go 9 o'clock straight up.
And Jaws, just to verify, roll to Foxtrot, correct, for the APFR?
A-firm Foxtrot.
And then what's my next? The scoop, correct?
And so that scoop that was off of H1 will go on the DCSU H2 at 9 o'clock or straight up.
Oh.
Can I hand it to you?
Yeah.
It's right by your...
Absolutely. Straight.
Straight up. I agree. Check the checklist.
And we're in a short handover period between satellites right now, but we should be regaining video and audio communication with the crew here shortly.
It's straight up.
Okay.
9 o'clock. Let's get to the doghouse, I think, is down.
It's
Look at the checklist.
Battery, it should be down. I think you're correct.
Yeah, it's correct.
Battery 4 both go down.
Yep, I agree.
Is that correct, Jaws?
yeah, A-firm. Sorry, it's straight down at battery 4.
For both scoops.
All right, what's the next kind of big chunk does?
And Chris, the next big chunk, we're moving, so you'll both be heading over to the EP. We're going to be moving battery Bravo to slot 3.
Battery Bravo to spot 3. Look at that.
They're cooking. Good work.
Put the lid on that?
Yeah.
I'll get out of your way.
Bechtel and Cassidy have now removed the aging battery from slot 3 and installed it on the adapter plate in slot 2, where it is no longer needed to function. Cassidy and Bankin will now return to the external pallet to retrieve battery B, and they'll translate back to the truss and together install it in empty slot number 3.
It's on. Yeah. Battery Bravo to slot 3, so I guess looking for a go to get in the APFR.
Okay, Chris, we're going to relocate some scoops first. So you are go to translate onto the EP, and you're going to be moving scoops from the battery in slot Alpha to the lithium-ion battery in slot Bravo.
Alpha to Bravo. And the clocking.
Okay, Chris, for the battery in slot Bravo at H1, it'll be at the 9 o'clock or straight down.
Straight down relative to the pallet. H1 is in and locked.
Copy, Chris. For H2, it'll also be 9 o'clock straight down.
Copy, also 9 o'clock straight down. Right, I've ingressed the APFR. I'm working on H2 scoop.
Okay, Chris, can I have you just do a ingress aid check, tether's clear, and a serial number?
Serial number 0024.
Copy, and you'll be reading to H2.
Reading to H2. That ret is complete.
Okay, and PGT settings are Alpha 7, counter 2.
Clear.
Copy.
All right, just double checking everything. I'm tethered. Hips are locked. Tops ready. Alpha 7. Counterclockwise 2. Going to H1.
H2.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that. Already done.
And it'll be approximately 19 turns.
19 turns. Okay, Doug, I'm doing some work on your pallet.
You're clear. Brakes are on.
Okay, the tool is inserted to the tape line. I can feel it's on the socket. And copy 19 turns.
A-firm.
Here we go. Worked out. There we go. First attempt worked out right away. Driving now.
Copy.
For 19.
Cassidy and Benken are now working on the external pallet to retrieve battery B. They'll translate back to the truss and together install it in empty slot number 3.
Working light. The unlock indicator is unlocked.
Copy, Chris. You can stow the PGT, and when Bob's ready, you can remove the battery, and you'll be transferring H1 to Bob with a ret swap.
Okay, H1 to Bob with a ret swap.
A-firm, we want Bob to end up redded to H1.
Okay, copy. On just a sec, my VGT Velcro undone. Okay, VGT Velcro is secure. Ready, Bob?
Ready.
Coming out.
I'm going to put a red on there.
Copy.
I am ready. Take the battery for a second.
I have the battery.
Okay. I will release my BRT. Okay, you've got the battery.
I have the control of the battery.
I have control of the battery.
You have control. I'm releasing my ret. It's released. You have control.
Copy.
With that, Chris, you can
Now coming up on 3.5 hours into today's spacewalk. Recapping some of the milestones so far today, Krys Cassidy and Bob Behnken placed their suits on internal battery power, marking the official start of today's spacewalk at 6:32 a.m. Central Time. The first nickel hydrogen battery was released from slot number 1, and the crew worked together to move it over to the external pallet to install it in slot X for disposal. The crew then removed the new lithium-ion battery from slot A and translated it back to the truss, where they installed it in empty slot number 1. The new lithium-ion battery from slot A was installed in slot number 1, and the crew then worked to remove the battery in slot number 2 and translated it over to the external pallet, where Cassidy removed an adapter plate and handed it off to Behnken. Behnken translated to the truss to install the adapter plate in open slot 2, and Cassidy then installed the old battery in the slot that was emptied for disposal. Next, together on the integrated electronics assembly, Cassidy and Behnken placed a cable between the adapter plate and the new battery to complete the first of 3 circuits. Behnken and Cassidy then removed the aging battery from slot 3, which was then stowed on the adapter plate in slot 2, where it is no longer needed to function. Cassidy and Behnken just completed work on the external pallet to retrieve battery B, and they'll now translate back to the truss and together install it in empty slot number 3.
I have control of the battery. You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
Okay. You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
Okay. You have control. I have control of the battery.
You have control. I have control of the battery.
You have control.
Go ahead on 3.
I have control of the battery.
You have control. Go here, then back off a little bit.
That's good.
Okay, I have control.
I have control. I have control.
You have control. You have control.
Okay. You have control. I'm going to put my local on the other side of the APFR.
Roger.
I have control.
You have control. I think I can go onto the BSU. What do you think? Is that a good spot?
Yeah, we need to get up there high, so.
Yeah. Because this might be the one where you ingress your APFR next, right?
Yeah.
Going up there high.
And you probably need to take over the red.
Yeah, let me take the red.
I've got the battery.
You've got the battery. I have a ret, and I have control.
Okay. I'm going to release my red.
Copy that.
And Bob, prior to ingressing the APFR, you'll want to check that the gap spanner is clear of slot 3.
You have the battery and you have the red.
I have the battery, I have the red.
It's kind of dark out here, Chris.
Yeah, it's kind of dark.
And I have a caution for both of you, since this is one of the slots with the interference. Avoid translation and BRT loads into a scoop on the H2 microsquare for lithium-ion batteries installed with bracket interference. And slot 3 is one of those slots.
Okay, copy.
Hey, Chris.
Hey,
I will still my ingress aid.
Okay, Bob, once you do that and check your tethers clear, we'll take an inspection of the IAA receptacle.
You can pause there, Chris. Is that okay, please?
Pausing.
We have the IEA receptacle. The electrical connectors are clear, no fraud. Pins look straight to me. There's a little bit of discoloration on the fins on the, I guess, aft portion, but it looks like just a discoloration in the center, about an inch long. I don't think it will be an interference.
Copy that, Bob. And EMI band?
EMI band looks good.
Okay, copy.
Okay.
And we're just checking quickly on that discoloration. But as you hand off the battery, H2 will end up outboard.
Okay, and Chris will need to inspect the underside of the battery, is that correct?
Yeah, Ephraim, you'll want to present the bottom to Chris for inspection of the blind mate connectors, FOD, and EMI band.
Okay. Range in control, Chris. I'll put a ret on it.
I have control. Oh, you go ahead. You go for the ret.
Okay, I have a ret. You can release your ret. I have control.
You have control. My ret's coming off. My ret's off. Feel you taking it? All right. Checking it out. All the fins look good. Yeah. Can't see the blind. It's in the left, which is kind of buried. Let me try to change my angle. Anyway, you can bring that blind mate side up a little bit. Sorry, I know it's tough.
That's about all I can do.
That's all you got. Okay, there, I got it. Good. 05, pins are good. MI, all good. Thanks.
Okay, copy, Chris. And are you in a good position to get us either WVS or some pictures of that discoloration?
If Bob is comfortable holding the battery there.
It almost looks like I took a Sharpie in the middle of the leftmost fin.
Copy.
Where is it?
It's in the leftmost fin. I don't know if in the dark you're going to be able to get a picture.
Yeah, I don't see it. All right.
And the sun is coming up in 2 minutes.
All right, I got a bunch of pictures in this lighting configuration. If you want to wait for light, you can get it now.
Checking. Okay, Chris, we're happy with that. So we'll just use those pictures. That should be good, and we can continue.
It's not interference. It's just like a marking or something in there.
Copy all. So with that, Chris, once you stow that battery or stow that camera again, we're going to be soft docking the battery onto H2 with H2 outboard.
We're oriented correctly. H2 is outboard. And Chris, if you could just let me know if it's clear there. That crew lock bag and stuff is up there. Clear the crew lock bag. You need to bring your still over the edge a little bit, so down towards your knees. There you go. There you go. Clear, clear, clear. All good. I think that's a soft dock. Lined up. And you're looking for PGT.
Okay, yep, Chris, you'll transfer your PGT, and Bob, look for Alpha 7, clockwise 2.
The Alpha 7, clockwise 2.
You're going to H2, confirm socket tape line flush, looking for 16 to 17 turns.
Alpha 7, clockwise 2, on H2. The tape line is flush. Here we go. Indicator's moving. Battery appears to be going in. I agree. This one seems snugger up against the wall than the other guy. There's a green light. It looks like 15 and a half turns. The status indicator indicates lock.
And what was the torque?
9.
Copy, 9 even.
Yes, 9.0.
Okay, that's slightly low on the turn count, so we're just checking real quick down here. Okay.
This is one of the ones with the interference.
Yep, A-firm, and we are go to continue. So for H1, same settings, Alpha 7, clockwise 2. You'll confirm the tape line flush, looking for 4 to 5.5 turns.
Copy. Indicator's moving. It's torqued out. The indicator is not quite to lock. 9.2, and it looks like we had about 4 turns.
Copy, 4 turns, and torque was 9.2, but the status indicator doesn't quite look locked?
The status indicator on battery is maybe a 1/4 inch from lock.
Okay, we're good with that. You can hand that PGT back to Chris to stow on a swing arm and release that ret.
Firm.
Yep.
Flush with the adjacent battery.
Everything looks straight.
And
where do these scoops go?
with that, so you actually moved one of the scoops we already needed over, so we're going to relocate the APFR. And so for now, the scoops can stay. And it sounds like we're far enough ahead that we can move on to the first block from EVA 2 if you're both good with that.
Yeah, good.
Okay, copy. So that being said, we'll relocate the APFR to WIF 22. Clocking is 12. Chris?
WIF 22, clocking is 12.
Yep, A-firm. And Chris, you've already moved the scoop we needed, so if you want to give us a glove, hap, and gauntlet check, we can take that.
Okay, gauntlets, it in place, gloves, pristine, same black smudge, cap, dry, baseline.
Copy, good check.
Jazz, my radio was a little crackly when you were just talking. Did you hear it perfectly fine, all those words?
Yeah, the same as it's been the whole time.
Okay. Yeah, Josh, I missed about 50% of the words that I heard you say, Bob, to move the APFR, but I missed some other stuff, so maybe tag me up one more time.
Yeah, okay, Chris. So Bob's relocating the APFR, and then we're going to move into moving battery 4 to EP slot Bravo.
Copy that.
So
right.
Chris, before you do anything else, can we get you to take some pictures of that slot interference with the bracket, the one in slot 3 that you just installed?
Certainly.
Okay, Jaws, the APFR has been relocated to WIF 22. Yeah, clocking is 12. Black on black. Got a good pull and a good twist test. And the pitch knob pops out.
Copy. And Quebec Hotel 12, the remaining settings.
Copy. Quebec set and hotel. Hotel set.
Copy. Hotel 12 set. With that, Bob will take a glove, hap, and gauntlet check.
My hap is the baseline. Change. The gauntlets are both up. My right glove is pristine except for a small head on my index finger on the inside. Just a small thread, or maybe it's a piece of that's just a piece of like overflow RTD. And the left glove is pristine.
Okay, copy that, Bob, and we could see that in the WVS. Okay, with that, Bob, we'll have you check that the gap spanner is clear of slot 4, and then you can ingress the APFR. And Chris, once you're done with the photos, you can get in a good position to assist with battery 4 and have the ratchet wrench handy, unless you want to go ahead and start braking torque.
Okay, copy. I'm going to ditch the camera and
before you ditch it, take a picture of a dragon out there. It's a good, good location, good time. I don't know if we're going to make it through another day-night cycle.
Yeah, you can go for it now if you'd like.
Yeah, that's good. You're in a good position. My angle is kind of... Oh, I got it. I bumped your yaw.
I fixed it, thanks. Endeavor's a pretty ship on the front end of the space station right now.
Yeah, it is. I have good tactile feel of this button.
Yeah, I could see the click to see the shutter move when it was pointed at me, but I don't have good tactile feel on the button either. It's a pretty shot. I think the folks at Hawthorne will appreciate it, getting a chance to see the ship from this angle on the sunny day. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
With that, Jaws, do I have a go to ingress the APFR?
Affirm, Bob, as long as you check that gap spanner is clear, you can ingress, tuck the ingress aid, and check your tethers are clear.
The battery 4 location is well clear of any gap spanners at this time. After I'm ingressed, I'll move the ingress aid.
Copy.
On your way, Bob?
Nope.
Okay, camera is back on structure.
Copy, Chris. You can get in a position to help with battery 4 and have the ratchet wrench handy. If you are in a position to go to H1, you can do that to brake torque.
Okay, ratchet wrench.
I've ingressed the APFR. Ingress aid is stowed.
Copy, Bob. Tethers clear?
Tethers are clear.
Okay.
And I think we should tether.
We'll take the serial number and then a ret to the H1 scoop.
Serial number is 0092, and I'll ret to the H1 scoop.
Copy.
I am ready to the H1 scoop.
Copy. I think I see Chris braking torque on H1.
No. Not quite yet.
Okay, so this is the, yeah, that
Didn't touch it.
okay. Okay, so we've got the H1 for battery 4, and that was the expected serial number 0092. Yes.
Affirm it was. And you are go to brake torque after confirming socket tape lines flush.
Okay, socket tape line is flush. H1 torque is broke.
Copy. Same for H2. Confirm the tape line flush. Brake torque less than 1 turn.
Tape line is flush on H2. Torque is broke on H2.
Got it.
You got it, Chris?
Okay, and Chris, you can send that back to the crew lock bag and hand off your PGT with the 6-inch.
Okay, I have the PGT, and I will.
Velcro keeps coming up.
Yeah. The Velcro's back on. We'll go Alpha 7, counter 2.
Affirm.
On H1.
Good words. You're looking for approximately 8 turns. And Chris, you can relocate that PGT with a hex driver in the meantime to battery 3 H1 scoop using that adjustable equipment tether.
Battery 3 H1 scoop.
Affirm.
Turn in on H1. Indicators moving. It started skipping at about the 5, but there's 8 turns on H1.
Copy, Bob, and status indicators unlocked?
Yes, the status indicator is unlocked.
Copy, and for an update, you are 4 hours into the EVA, limiting consumables MEDOX on Bob at 6:40, and you're about 2 hours ahead on the timeline.
Copy.
Okay, driving on drive on H2, Jasmine, but I just want to catch up.
Yep, affirm, confirm socket tape lines flush and looking for about 19 turns, and we're about to have a handover in a minute.
Tape line is flush, I'll start turning.
You jacking?
There's 18 turns. Status indicator is unlocked, and it was unlocked over the last 3 turns.
Okay, so pull that sucker out.
Okay, Chris and Bob, I'm back with you. I copied the good release on H2. Probably transferred that PGT back to Chris to put in a swing arm and unlock the ret.
All complete.
Okay.
Bob, I want to assess.
And now 4 hours into today's spacewalk, running ahead of their timeline today, Cassidy and Benken are now starting to tackle the first task planned for next Wednesday's second spacewalk to replace batteries for the S6 Truss's 1B channel. Having completed all of the planned tasks for this first spacewalk involving the removal of 3 aging nickel-hydrogen batteries from the Truss's integrated electronics assembly and installing 2 new lithium-ion batteries in the truss, the spacewalkers are now moving a 4th nickel-hydrogen battery planned for next Wednesday's spacewalk, and will also move an adapter plate into the truss to await the installation of another new lithium-ion battery next Wednesday.
All right, and I'll take your red, I guess.
Wait for you to maintain control while you get a red on.
All right, my red's in place and I have control.
Okay, I will remove my red. My red's removed.
Copy that.
You have control.
I have control. You scrunch down the
You think we're going to be able to get it over the top of the APFR there?
I think so. If you have a decent spot to secure yourself, let's do that spot right there. You ready?
I am ready.
Okay. I'm in your way.
Okay. I have the battery.
You have the battery. I have the red. Way out of here.
Yeah, thank you.
Clear the battery.
Again, running ahead of schedule, the spacewalkers are now removing the 4th nickel-hydrogen battery planned for next Wednesday's spacewalk and will move an adapter plate into the truss to await the installation of another new lithium-ion battery next Wednesday.
I have control.
I have control of the battery. control of the battery?
You have control of the battery. I have control.
You have control of the battery? I have control of the battery?
You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery?
You have control of the battery. Passing the GoPro. I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
You have control of the battery.
One more little one for the BRT.
Yep, if you go to the other side of the APFR, and then I'll get on my BRT and put a ret on it, I think.
Copy.
Oh, yes. I've got control of the battery.
You have control of the battery. I have control of the battery.
You've got control of the battery.
And Chris, you'll want your BRT ret going to the battery tether point.
BRT ret to the battery tether point. Okay.
But you don't need to do that until you ingress the APFR. I'm not sure which order you wanted to do it in.
Yeah, it's more convenient to go to a scoop during the handoff, and then I'll switch it.
Copy.
I see your BRT.
Okay, I'm going to get a ret on there.
Copy that.
I have a ret onto the battery. I have control of the battery.
You're ready. You have control. Releasing my ret. Released.
And Chris, your go to ingress.
APFR.
Your go to ingress the APFR, and a reminder to assess your reach to the tools.
That's my reach to the tools. Copy that. fail in.
Stand.
Okay, Chris, if you'll check your ingress aids tucked and your tethers are clear, and then with the handoff, you're going to end up with your BRT red on the battery tether point, and then H2 is going to go in your BRT.
Okay, copy. I'm read it, Bob, and I have control.
Okay, I'll remove my red, and you're happy with your tool access? Are we just installing this battery, or are we doing something more, Jasmine?
Take the adapter plate out.
Yep, exactly.
Bob, can you take control for just 1 second?
I'll take control back. Stand by. Okay, I have control.
You have control?
So we're in a different get ahead than was in our procedure. We're doing another adapter plate.
Yeah, Ephraim, you're going to do the full swap. So, Bob, you'll end up with the adapter plate on your BRT, taking it back over to the IAA and installing it in slot 4, while Chris installs the battery that's going on his BRT into slot Bravo.
Okay, I'm back in. And Mag wants to kick these tools a little out of my reach.
Copy. Do you need to move that bag, Chris? Or if you want, Bob can translate onto the EP to help hand off tools as well.
I think I got it. Okay. I have control.
Okay, and it looks like that red might be...
yeah, that red got a little...
I've got control if you want to fix it, or just let me know.
All right, it's fixed, and I have control.
You've got control of the battery.
Okay, Chris, you want to put the H2 scoop in your BRT.
H2 to my BRT. BRT red to the middle.
A-firm.
Okay, BRT red is in place. BRT on H2.
Copy, Chris. You can move that battery out of the way, and we'll work on removing the adapter plate.
Okay, tightening up the knuckles. Okay.
Okay, Chris, you're gonna ret to the adapter plate heater mat tether point. That's the one towards your head.
All right. One with the recommended ret insertion technique.
Affirm. Flawless.
Okay.
Okay, you'll retrieve the ratchet wrench with the hex driver, and you'll be going to H1 first.
H1's in my right. All right.
Affirm, that is to your right. And you'll confirm one line flush.
One line is flush.
Okay, you're good to brake torque, max of 1 turn.
H1 torque is broken. Quarter turn.
Copy, it'll be the same for H2, one line flush.
One line flush.
Okay, brake torque, less than 1 turn.
Broken on an eighth of a turn.
Okay, you can send that ratchet wrench back to the ORU bag and grab the PGT with the hex driver.
PGT with hex.
And for Alpha 7, counter 2.
Alpha 7. Counterclockwise 2.
Okay, you'll be going to H1, confirm one line flush.
One line flush.
Okay, looking to release approximately 8 turns.
Approximately 8 turns. Okay, there was 8. They was released at 6.
Copy, same settings. Alpha 7, counter 2 for H2, looking for one line flush.
Alpha 7, counter 2. Looking for one line flush. That's one line flush. Here we go.
Looking for 19 turns.
I got to work out at 3 turns. Moving again. It's continuing.
Copy.
Okay, there's 17 turns. It's free.
Copy. You can switch the power on the PGT off. That's to the left. And send that back to the ORU bag.
Power on the PGT is off. Bring it back to the ORU bag.
Copy. And with that, if Bob's in a good position, you can remove the adapter plate from soft dock and transfer it to Bob, looking to hand off, the adapter plate handrail tether point is where Bob's going to want to attach his BRT ret, so the opposite end of where you have your tether.
Copy all. Whenever you're ready, just let me know. I'm ready. So much less mass than a battery. Let me know if you need to rotate it. You can come on, yeah, rotate it this way. Yep.
Okay, I've got the adapter plate. I am tethered to it and it is on my BRT.
All right, I'm going to remove my tether. My tether is removed.
Copy.
Okay, Bob, as you said, you can stow that on your BRT and start heading back to the IEA.
Copy.
Chris, for you, you can check your ingress aid is tucked and then retrieve the battery that's in your BRT. You want H2 in your left hand.
Copy. H2 in my left hand. Okay, Doug, I'm going to do some work if you're ready for it.
Brakes are on, you're clear to maneuver.
All right. Come in. I believe I'm soft docked.
Okay, copy. With that, you can grab the PGT with the 6-inch.
How's that translation, Bob?
That's going a little bit slow. I just want to not move the adapter plate into anything, so.
Copy.
And Chris, settings are alpha 7, clockwise 2.
Alpha 7, clockwise 2. That's set.
You'll be going to H2.
GT is inserted.
Copy.
Okay.
Confirm
H2.
tape lines flush. Looking for 16 to 17 turns.
16, 17 turns. Immediate torque out. At 9.1 foot-pounds. Now it's moving. Okay.
Copy.
4 for 19.
Bob, you'll make sure the gap spanner is clear and that you can reach the PGT and hex driver, and then you can ingress the APFR.
Copy that.
Going 0.6 turns, 9.2 foot-pounds. The locking indicator is locked. Battery is flush with battery Bravo.
Copy. And Chris, did you say 16 turns?
Yeah, 16.6 is what's on the PGT.
Copy. Okay, you can release the RET, stow your PGT, and then you'll be retrieving those scoops and stowing them on your mini workstation.
Where are they going?
They'll be going to battery Delta.
Battery Delta.
So that's kind of towards your feet.
Over to the Okay, I have both scoops on my main workstation.
Copy, Chris, and those are going to go to battery delta that's nadir toward your feet.
Okay, so you want me to egress the APFR, translate onto the pallet, and install those?
A-firm.
Do that. Yes, sir.
Okay, Jaws, I'm in the APFR and ready to copy. The map spanner is clear, and I can reach the PGT.
Copy, Bob. Make sure your ingress aids tucked, tethers are clear, and then we'll take an inspection on the IAA bolts and blind mate connectors.
Copy. The ingress aid is stowed. The blind mate connectors on the IEA, electrical connectors are clear, no FOD. Looks like a good EMI band.
Copy, Bob. Good inspection.
All the way around.
And
they're clear as well.
Copy. And now we'll take an inspection on the adapter plate, bolt interfaces, and blind mate connectors. The adapter plate that's in your BRT.
Copy.
Okay, battery delta.
Okay, Chris,
Clocking.
let me know if you want H1 or H2 first.
Pick H1.
Copy. H1 is at the 10 o'clock. It's kind of down and to the left.
O'clock. All right, H1 is installed.
Copy, Chris. H2 will be at 3 o'clock, which will be up.
Hey, Josh, just to double check, you want me to inspect the EMI band, the battery interfaces, plates?
Just the EMI band on the adapter plate itself.
My band on the adapter plate is in good shape.
Copy that. And Bob, just to confirm, that's on the bottom side of the adapter plate. The part that interfaces with the IEA.
That EMI band is good as well. And the electrical connectors are clear.
Copy that, Bob. You can, you want the blind mate connectors oriented station outboard, and you can soft dock that adapter plate into slot 4.
Copy.
H2 scoops installed.
Copy, Chris, and stand by one. We're going to have you do some extra actions there on the EP.
Copy.
Okay, Chris, while you're on the EP, we'll have you stow the tools in the ORU bag. So I think if you just have the PGT there, the camera and GoPro are currently in other locations, but stow everything in the ORU bag. And we're going to have you stand by.
And Jaws, I'm ready with PGT settings for H2 on the adapter plate.
Okay, Alpha.
Clockwise 2.
That's correct. And you'll be on H2. You want to confirm one line flush.
Okay, that's one line flush on H2.
Copy, you're driving 16 to 17 turns.
16 to 17 turns. No issue, Jaws, just have to go through the CAL procedure. The PGT switch was bumped.
Say again, Bob, I think you said you're recalling.
Yes.
Copy.
Alpha 7.
Clockwise 2.
Clockwise 2.
And H2, looking for
Line flush.
one line flush, A-firm, 16 to 17 turns.
Thank you. 16 to 17 turns, here it comes.
Chris, for you, once you clean up that ORU bag, you'll take it back onto structure, and you can temp stow it right by the GoPro on handrail 2005.
Okay. No inventory needed?
We'll do that after.
Green light, 17 turns, 9.1 for the torque. H2.
Copy, Bob. Same settings, Alpha 7, clockwise 2 for H1, and you'll confirm 2 lines visible, 1 flush.
Okay, 2 lines visible, 1 flush.
Looking for 4.5 to 5.5 turns, and we have a handover in 1 minute.
Light turns, 9.2, green light.
Copy, 9.2, I think you said 5 turns and green light. You can stow that PGT with the hex driver on DCSU, on the DCSU H2 scoop, and then you can release your RET.
Okay, I'm going to release my RET and egress the APFR, and then I'll move the PGT over there. Is that okay?
A-firm.
The spacewalkers have now removed the 4th nickel hydrogen battery, which was planned for next Wednesday's spacewalk. They also moved an adapter plate into the truss to await the installation of another lithium-ion battery next Wednesday. With the crew now running through these get-ahead tasks so quickly, we're standing by to see what their next step will be.
I'm going to step in just for a second. I don't know if you were saying something and it got cut off.
Well, my radio has been squirrely, though.
What do you think we're doing next?
Okay, Kristen.
Clean it up, because we can't.
Oh, sorry, guys. Back with you after the handoff. And Chris, where were you at on the bag?
The bag is stowed. Both tools are in the bag. It is on my BRT. I'm looking around. There's no remaining tethers visible. Everything's in the bag or on me. And I think I'm ready to hop back over to the APFR.
Yeah, Chris, we'll have you make sure the ingress aid is stowed on the boot plate. And yeah, and you can go back over to structure onto the APFR, stow that ingress aid, and then check tethers are clear. And when all that's true, you can give SSRMS the go to back off.
Okay, copy all. Work.
And Bob, to tag back in with you, I think you stowed that PGT and are working the TA clamps now?
Yeah, I'll be working the TA clamps. I'm just managing a little bit of a tether snarl with the ingress aid.
Copy that, Bob.
Okay, the PGT has got the adjustable tether going to H1 on the CSU.
To H2 on the DCSU.
Correct. Okay.
And Bob, you can temp stow that ORU bag at handrail 2005 by the GoPro, or Chris rather.
Okay, that's in work.
Joe, I was just trying to catch up with you as to, are we cleaning up right now? Is that the situation here, or are we moving towards doing another?
Yeah, I was just about to call and ask you both. We should have time to move battery 6 to adapter plate Bravo in slot 4 if you both are good to continue.
What's our PET?
$442.
Copy that. Okay. Okay.
Okay, you're both good with that?
All right, there you.
Okay, you're both good with that?
Yes. You. I am Bob. Are you?
I am good. Yep.
The ORU bag is temp stowed on 2005. And I understand I'm making my way over to the IEA.
Yeah, once you've make sure, I don't know if you already got the ingress aid stowed on the boot plate and tether's all clear for the EP translation. Tether's all clear for the EP translation.
It is. I didn't verbalize it though. Thanks for the reminder. So the ingress aid is folded flat against the boot plate. There are no tethers. Everything's clear. And Doug, you have a go to maneuver.
Copy, Chris. Go for maneuver to the back-off position.
Okay, so Bob is currently working the adapter plate, PA clamps, and that connection. That will go from the battery to the adapter plate, and then we'll step into battery 6.
Where are the scoops coming for battery 6? Coming from? We'll move them.
Checking.
Scoops available on the PCSU or slot 3?
Chris, they're coming from the battery that's in slot 3 right now. So you'll take both the scoops off the battery currently in slot 3.
Okay.
The TA clamps are released.
Copy, Bob. You can demate the adapter plate connector from P4.
Hey, Bob, your least tether is, I'll just, if you can pass me the scoop later on when you're done with it from your waist tether.
So you need that
It's no, yeah, it's no rush. Just keep working. Your work is more important than these scoops.
Okay, Bob, I see you've got that demated. That's going to go to the adjacent lithium-ion battery. Just make sure the gap spanner stays clear of it inboard, and get a good inspection on it, and let me know if you want the instructions for the twist in the cable.
copy.
And Bob, I should mention you need to remove that connector cap first, so you can ret to and remove that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm clear of that base tether off of that scoop, but I can use it for...
Yeah, just keep with it. No big deal. All right, Jasmine, H2 on battery 6 is installed straight up.
Copy.
Looks like 3 o'clock.
Good install. And for H1, you'll be going to 10 o'clock. That should be down and slightly to the left.
All right. That'll be a little bit. I was using that scoop for a minute.
J4 looks clear, and B4 looks clear, and the EMI band looks good. Can you say the words about the twist in the cable?
With the pins toward structure, you would want to rotate no more than 1 turn clockwise.
Now approaching 5 hours into today's spacewalk, running ahead of their timeline today, Cassidy and Benken were able to tackle the first task planned for next Wednesday's second spacewalk to replace batteries for the S6 Truss's 1B channel. Having completed all of the planned tasks for this first spacewalk involving the removal of 3 aging nickel-hydrogen batteries from the Truss's integrated electronics assembly and installing 2 new lithium-ion batteries in the truss, the spacewalkers had time to remove a 4th nickel-hydrogen battery planned for next Wednesday's spacewalk and moved an adapter plate into the truss to await the installation of another new lithium-ion battery next Wednesday. Now they're moving on to the second task, originally scheduled for next Wednesday.
I think that where that attachment point goes, I just use the battery that we attached it to push it along the side so it sticks up a little bit, but it won't interfere with the battery 6 to go on that adapter plate.
The second task will involve removing the 5th of 6 nickel-hydrogen batteries, and we'll put it on an adapter plate.
Connector cap you removed can go on the adapter plate where you removed the cable.
The cap is reinstalled.
Copy that, Bob. And Chris, did you get that second scoop on H1 already?
I picked it up. I'm working my way there right now.
Copy that, Chris.
Going in, Joe. And there you go. H1, 10 o'clock, slightly down into the left.
A firm. And Bob, we'll have you just hold still for a little bit, just looking at your met rates.
Okay. Jasmine, I can break work on H1 if you'd like me to.
Chris, hold one. We're talking it down here.
Okay. And then our cheat sheet out, it looks like one APFR comes over, one more.
And one more spot.
One more spot.
Okay.
And then we can get the battery out.
Yeah.
Chris and Bob, I'm back with you after a little handover. we'll take a glove, hap, and gauntlet check from both of you, and then Chris, your go to break torque on battery 6, but we're not going to go with the PGT yet. We're just discussing time down here.
Copy that. My gauntlets are in place. The hap is dry. Gloves, all the RTV is in good shape. Got a little more black smudge pieces, but the RTV is great shape.
Copy, Chris.
Hap is baseline. My gauntlets are up, and my gloves are still in pristine shape except for those smudges.
Copy, Bob. Okay, so Chris, with that, if you can make sure the gap spanner is clear of slot 4.
I thought you want me to leave 6 and go do that? I was about to break torque on H1 and H2.
Sorry, not 4. Just, yeah, sorry, break torque first. So you can go to H1.
On H1, battery 6.
A-firm, you'll confirm the socket tape line's flush, and you can break torque less than 1 turn.
Socket tape's flush, it was about 1/8 of a turn.
Copy. You can go to H2, and Chris, can you report the serial number when you get a chance?
Yeah, just give me a second. Battery 6, serial number 009090.
Copy, that's a good serial number.
Tool is inserted to the tape.
Copy, Chris, you go to break torque on H2.
Strong one. Quarter of a turn. That's broken. Torque's broken, rather. That was the most significant torque breakage I felt.
Copy that, Chris.
This one.
And Bob, how are you feeling? Your met rates are starting to come back down.
I feel fine. I didn't notice that my met rate was high, so I feel fine. I just don't. You guys must be managing CO2 or NOx.
Copy. Okay. If that's the case, then we can pick up and continue with moving battery 6 to slot 4. Okay. So that being said, we can make sure the gap spanner is clear for the battery install onto the adapter plate in slot 4. And then, Bob, you can ingress the APFR.
Okay, copy. We'll check the APFR settings. Looks before that.
And then I'll be on the other side of you after you get in.
Copy.
And Bob, it's up to you if you want to roll the APFR first or ingress and then roll it. But if you want to roll it first, we're looking at a setting of delta.
Copy. I'll roll it first. just because I think the wrong things are in front of it for ingress.
Yeah, but I didn't hear a 5-hour PET update. Did I miss it?
We're about to give you one, Chris.
Copy. The torque's broken, Bob. It's just straight to the PG. Thank you.
Okay, and Chris and Bob, we're 5 hours into the EVA now. Living and consumables, MEDOX on Bob at 6:40, and we think we can finish this up, clean up, and be in the airlock by around 6:15.
Okay, copy all. Thank you.
And Chris, if you can verify the PGT with the hex drivers clear of the slot 6 install location, and that the adapter plate connector cable is clear of slot 4.
Let that be forward work for me, because a little far away. I'll make sure that's the case, though.
Okay.
Okay, I have ingressed the APFR.
Copy, Bob. So you can check the ingress aid is tucked and tethers are clear.
Verified stowed. And my tethers are clear, except for the one I think I'm going to need to attach.
And yeah, Chris, we're looking for your ret on the battery tether point.
Okay.
This ret is on the battery tether point.
Copy. Chris, you can hand your PGT with a 6-inch to Bob. Bob's settings are alpha 7, counter 2.
Okay, alpha 7, counter 2.
Copy. You'll be going to H1.
H1.
A-firm, looking for 8 turns. And Chris, you can reposition to the radiator side of the IAA for that battery transfer.
Okay, let me talk this for a sec, because the way my red is.
Copy.
To move now, Bob, before you start driving?
Yeah, let's, I'll give you your ret back.
Yeah. Yeah, I have it.
Okay. Probably want to take the PGT with you during your relocation.
Absolutely. Have it.
Got it. You built your little nest and now you got to relocate it.
I had the perfect nest going on. Okay. Oh, maybe to your left? Or out straight along this hand?
I think you need to go straight along that handrail, otherwise our tethers are going to get kind of a mess.
Yeah. You move it over.
The crew is now moving to the second get-ahead task, originally scheduled for the spacewalk next Wednesday. The crew will remove the 5th of 6 nickel hydrogen batteries and will put it on an adapter plate. So this will be moving battery number 6 to slot number 4.
You got it?
I got it.
Oh, my feet are over your head.
Copy.
Keep coming back down.
barely
All right,
each other.
Yeah, I'll put that up on that.
Maybe that's one use for those overhanging handrails. You can find a convenient one.
I'll use these wires since we got them out here. Okay. They're lead.
Thank you. I'll need your rep.
Get re-nested here.
Are you going to go on your BRT or are you going to go?
Let's see, just for now. Then you're going to pass it to me at your left hip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then I'll have to egress the APFR, so it might be too close.
Well, this is not the permanent one. This is just the
Copy.
bridge, the DGT one.
Your rep is to the battery tether point.
Okay, PGT coming out. I don't know which side.
I've got it.
Got it?
Okay.
I might want to lock this one.
Okay. Roger that.
Bob, you're looking for Alpha 7 counter 2.
He's definitely coming in broken. Understand Alpha 7 counter 2
A-firm.
H1.
A-firm, you'll confirm the socket tape line's flush. Looking for about 8 turns.
The top tape line is flush. You copy me loud and clear, Chris?
I do, yep, absolutely.
Okay, she's just coming in broken.
Yeah. It might be this spot on the structure.
Yeah.
That is where I keep having issues.
Okay. Here we go on H1. Indicators moving. There's 8 turns. Verified unlocked on the indicator.
Copy. Same settings, Alpha 7 counter 2 for H2. You'll confirm the tape line's flush. Approximately 19 turns.
Copy. Yeah, I can't see the indicator. Can you see indicator, Chris?
Give me a sec.
Oh, no, I got it. This was, look the same color. Okay, thanks for your light. There you go.
I like the valves and dragon. Done with the PGT?
No, I bumped it to off. There you go.
See it jacking out.
I see the indicator moving.
kind of low in your work envelope.
Yeah, it's kind of like that tape is also getting.
Yeah, there's a slight angle to the wobble.
This is not a good body position for that install.
Oh, yeah. Jasmine, we have you? Radio check?
Yeah, affirm. And would an additional roll on the APFR help?
No, I think we've got the bolt released. I think H2 is just really low in the work envelope. In this APFR setting, it probably was expected.
Yeah.
So there's a different APFR config, but I think roll's not going to be enough.
Copy. And you said status indicators unlocked in how many turns?
18 turns, and the status indicator was unlocked, and it clicked up there 2 or 3 times.
Copy. You can hand the PD2 back to Chris to stow on a swing arm, and can remove the battery and hand it off to Chris, looking to hand H2 outboard.
Copy. Let me know when you're ready for it, Chris.
All right, I'm going to BRT down.
And Chris will be holding it for the APFR roll.
Yes, sir, I'm ready. Made a good config.
Here comes.
Just watch my safety tether, it popped off. Yeah, the edge. Your ingress aid.
Thank you.
Yep.
You've got H2.
I have H2 and I have control of the battery.
Okay. Got control of the battery. And I've got to roll across where you are here, so I'll do my best here. We're going to the adapter plate location.
Affirm in slot 4. And Bob, just make sure you also check your ingress aids tucked before that roll.
Copy.
You can use me to translate if you need. I'm secure.
The roll is complete.
Copy, Bob. Before taking the battery back, if you can just make sure the gap spanner and ingress aid are clear for the install to slot 4.
Okay, the gap spanner is clear. That's the thing about the ingress aid. If you tuck it well enough, it's hard to see. Verified that the ingress aid is tucked as well.
Copy. And as you take the battery back, you're going to want to end up with H2 in your left hand.
Get back there somewhere. There you go.
Okay. And back.
You have it?
I have the battery.
You have control of the battery.
Okay.
Let it go.
Okay, Bob, once your alignment's good, you go to soft dock that battery onto H2.
Copy.
Again, the crew has removed the fifth of 6 nickel hydrogen batteries.
Need any help with that cable over there, or you got it?
I think the cable is good.
Okay. GT's clear here. A little bit misaligned. There you go.
The crew will now fix the battery on an adapter plate. Again, this will be moving battery number 6 to slot number 4.
Okay. I believe we're soft docked.
I think so.
Okay, copy. With that, Chris, you can hand off your PGT with the 6-inch. Bob's settings are alpha 7, clockwise 2.
Clockwise 2. Okay, the PGT. And the Velcro strap again.
And you'll be going to H2, confirm the socket tape line flush, looking for 16 to 17 turns.
The socket tape line is flush. Understand 16 to 17 turns. And Rick, Chris, let me know if you can see it.
Right,
checking in.
Roger that.
Ready?
Ready. Couldn't quite tell. I think I see it going down. Yep, confirmed, going down.
There's 16 and a quarter turns, green light 9.2.
Copy, and same settings, alpha 7, clockwise 2 for H1.
Copy.
And Bob, status indicator was locked on H2, correct?
Status indicator shows locked on H2.
Copy, thanks.
Another low work envelope.
Yeah.
Copy. And you're looking for 4 to 5.5 turns.
Well, there's a little bit better body position because it's not right in front of your mini workstation.
Yeah.
Green light, 9.4 on the torque, and 4 and a quarter turns. The indicator shows locked.
Okay, copy. Good install. You can transfer the PGT back to Chris to stow on his swing arm, and you can release the ret.
Copy.
Thanks.
Chris has the PGT, and the ret is released.
Copy, and big picture with that. We're done with the install, and we're going to move into cleanup.
Okay, copy.
So cleanup is bag inventory basically, Jaws, or do you have something else to do as well?
We're going to have Chris move some scoops from the battery in slot 4 to the battery in slot 5, and then he'll retrieve the camera and head back to the ORU bag to stow the ORU, or stow the camera and GoPro, and then inventory everything. And you will be cleaning up the stowing the hex driver back on the pit pin in the crew lock bag, and cleaning up the crew lock bag.
Copy.
Copy.
Ready for the scoop?
You bet.
And as you just heard, the crew has finished their tasks for the day. 2 of those tasks were get-ahead tasks originally planned for next Wednesday's second spacewalk to replace batteries for the S6 Truss's 1B channel. In summary today, the crew removed 5 of the 6 aging nickel-hydrogen batteries, installed 2 of the 3 lithium-ion batteries, and moved 2 of the 3 adapter plates into the S6 1B channel.
All right, good news.
And we just received news that both of the lithium-ion batteries are both up and running and in good shape.
Copy, thanks, Chris.
That was with the wire tie.
Chris, it looks like your safety tether is not retracting right now.
Yeah, I noticed that. Let me give a body position and I'll look at the Ripcom. Is it wrapped around me?
Kind of, it has some dynamics with it right now. It's not wrapped around you anymore.
Okay, copy. The reel had gotten bumped or locked. Feel it reeling in.
Okay, it looks good now.
Look good? Yeah, thank you for
Just,
bringing that up.
and Jaws, do I head to the crew lock bag?
Hey, from Bob, you'll head to the crew lock bag, stow the hex driver on the pit pin RET, and then you can retrieve your PGT with the RET series and the adjustable and put it back on your swing arm.
I have stowed the ingress 8 flat to the boot plate.
Copy, Bob, thanks.
And tucked it down as well.
Down, right?
A-firm, Chris, both are at 9 o'clock down on battery 5.
Copy that. H2 scoop is installed, working on H1 scoop.
Copy, Chris.
H1 scoop installed and locked, straight down.
Copy, Chris. And Chris, we'll have you retrieve the camera, and if you don't mind, could you take some closeout photos of the IAA before you head back to your ORU bag?
Camera and closeout photos. You got it.
Thank you.
And as you pass by there, Chris, could you release that adjustable from the scoop?
Yeah. Clear to let it go?
Yes. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, Jaws, I have retrieved the 9-inch X socket. It's on the pit pin, and it's a good cut test. I'm retrieving the PGT at this time.
Copy, Bob. And as you put that on your swing arm, if you could just report the tethers on the PGT to us.
Okay. Two rets in series and adjustable on the PGT.
Copy, Bob. Sounds good. And whenever you're ready, we can take an inventory of the crew lock bag if Chris is good with his forward steps.
Yep, I have the camera on my possession. I'm taking close-out photos now. And I think when I'm done with the photos, I head towards my bag.
Yep, A-firm. You'll head back, stow that camera as well as the GoPro into the ORU bag, and then we'll take your inventory once you're ready as well.
Okay, copy all.
Okay, I have a ret series connected to the ratchet wrench with a wobble socket and a palm bar in the crew lock bag.
Copy.
Yeah, Bob, I do not like this button on the camera.
Yeah.
I push probably 3 times more than I actually trigger a picture.
I have 3 integral rets to adjustable tethers.
Copy.
I have a ret to a trash bag, and then another 2 rets that connect to the small trash bag. I've got a gap spanner combo that is on a ret. And the second gap spanner combo is to the internal ret.
Copy.
And I have the long duration tie down tether to bring inside of the crew lock bag, and I have the 9-inch hex, the pitman on a ret. Anything else you need?
That's everything
I'll do the
inside.
outside after I close it up, if that's okay. Okay.
Yep, that's everything on the inside, Bob, and then whenever you're ready, we'll get the outside.
Okay.
Pictures taken parting the IEA.
Now approaching 5.5 hours into today's spacewalk, recapping some milestones from today. Chris Khassidi and Bob Behnken were assisted in the Quest airlock this morning by NASA astronaut Doug Hurley and Russian cosmonaut Ivan Wagner, who helped the spacewalkers get suited up and run through various checks before stepping out into the vacuum of space. Doug Hurley closed the hatch at 5:46 a.m. Central Time this morning to begin depressurization. After depressurization, Chris Khassidi and Bob Behnken's suits were placed on internal battery power, officially marking the start of today's spacewalk at 6:32 a.m. Central Time. Following the official start of the spacewalk, Morgan and Parmitano. Following the official start of the spacewalk, Khassidi and Behnken translated to the work site to begin the work to finish power upgrades on the International Space Station. Running ahead of the timeline today, Khassidi and Behnken were also able to tackle the first task planned for next Wednesday's second spacewalk to replace the batteries for the S6 Truss's 1B channel, having completed all of the planned tasks for this first spacewalk involving the removal of 3 aging nickel-hydrogen batteries from the Truss's integrated electronics assembly and installing 2 new lithium-ion batteries in the truss. The spacewalkers had time to remove a 4th nickel-hydrogen battery planned for next Wednesday's spacewalk and moved an adapter plate into the truss to await the installation of another new lithium-ion battery next Wednesday.
The main thing is the doors need to be against structure, and it needs to be snug enough that it won't be able to spin outward.
And the second get-ahead task, originally scheduled for the spacewalk next Wednesday, the crew removed the fifth of 6 nickel-hydrogen batteries and put it on an adapter plate, moving battery number 6 to slot number 4. In summary, the crew removed 5 of the 6 aging nickel-hydrogen batteries, installed 2 of the 3 lithium-ion batteries, and moved 2 of the 3 adapter plates into the S6 1B channel. Both new lithium-ion batteries are up and running and in good shape. The crew now is running through some final cleanup procedures before heading back into the International Space Station.
Okay. Ret in series to the ratchet wrench with a 9-inch set installed on the ratchet and a palm wheel.
Copy.
Ret to an adjustable with a 2-puller and a pry bar.
Copy.
Ret with my trash bag. Ret with my trash bag, comm check.
Okay, copy. Ret to your trash bag.
An extra adjustable.
Copy.
A ret and a ret with a pit pin on standby for nothing on them.
Copy.
Ret in series GT number 8, which is in the off position. It does have a PGT battery, and it has a 9-inch hex head at the end of it.
Copy. And does that have an adjustable equipment tether on it?
It does, yep. Thank you.
Copy.
And I'm going to have to add another tether to this bag. Kind of can just spin.
Okay, Bob, so you're going to take one of the adjustables off your wrist?
Correct.
Copy.
A camera with a ret and an L bracket
Copy.
in the bag. And I'm going to carry the GoPro on me. GoPro has a ret.
Okay, copy, Chris. We are seeing that's everything inside the bag. Whenever you're ready, you can get the tethers on the outside.
Okay, stand by. ET, Jasmine?
534.
34, copy.
Okay, Jasmine, I have a additional adjustable for my right wrist that's going to the PFCS tether point, and I keep it towards the battery underneath the crew lock bag.
Okay, copy that, Bob. And with that, if that crew lock bag looks good to you, you can retrieve your green hook.
Copy.
Okay, the GoPro is on my mini workstation.
Copy that, Chris.
My next action is to bundle, get the BRG on the ORU bag.
Yeah, and Chris, we just need, what tethers are on the outside of the ORU bag?
Oh yeah, thanks for the reminder. There's one normal adjustable and one large small adjustable.
Okay, that's a good check, and yep, you can put that on your BRT now.
Just hanging out, Bob, wait.
I'm just hanging out.
Copy.
I'm going to come down there a little bit further, past the APFR here. I think we've done enough for one day. Agreed.
You've done a lot more than we're expecting.
And I am tethered to my BRT, releasing the external.
And Chris, once you've got that in a good position on our BRT, you can retrieve your green hook.
Okay, copy.
And Bob, you already got your green hook, is that correct?
I did get my green hook.
Copy, thanks.
It's closed onto my red reel. What are we flying over right now, Josh?
Okay, so with that, you're both, you can both start translating towards airlock. We've got a handover in about 30 seconds. So Bob, just a reminder as you head inboard to press the CETA brake release twice.
Copy the CETA brakes.
All right.
Paddles 2 times. Hey, safety tether treating you okay there?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're in a short handover period between satellites right now, but should be regaining that communication with the crew here shortly. Again, the crew is just finishing up some cleanup procedures before they head back into the International Space Station.
Translation path without a battery or a adapter plate.
Yeah, no kidding.
And Bob and Chris,
Green hook is up.
oh, just saying I was back with you. Go ahead, Chris.
Green hook is picked up. And
Copy.
now I think it's go time.
Yep, Chris, you can lead back in. Bob, can you check the load alleviating straps on your safety tethers? We're not sure which one, but someone thought they saw something. It's number 29. We just don't know which color that is.
Looks okay to me. I don't know if you can something else to see on there or not. Did they think they saw?
And Bob, as long as you confirm you see no red showing on number 29, safety tethers load alleviating strap, we're good.
Yeah, there's no red on number 29. There's a red stripe on it, but that's on the outside of the whole build-up.
Okay, stand by. Okay, Bob, it is on the one that's coming back in, so we'll take a closer look at it afterwards inside.
Okay.
EV1 on the seat is hurt.
Okay, Chris, you'll be putting in a rich man fair lead at handrail 3409.
Three 409. That's in the anchor hooks.
Sorry, Chris, I thought I see you're now, you called the CETA cart, not the CETA spur. That's at the top of the CETA spur.
Copy that.
And Bob, reminder for you to hit the brake releases on the inboard brake release of each of the CETA carts.
Copy that.
Going under the inboard CETA cart.
Copy, Chris.
Phase 1.
Copy, Chris. And as you get to S0, again, that handrail is 3409.
3409. It's the long one at the top of the CETA spur.
A-firm.
Recall correctly. Copy that.
And so you'll put a rich man in there and then weave your tether down the port row of handrails on the CETA spur.
Copy all. The brake pedal is released 2 times on the starboard.
Copy, Bob.
2 times on the port. Cart.
Copy that, Bob.
There's been a unhook on 3413. That's too high, right? I need to go down.
Stay firm, Chris. Yeah, it's the top handrail of the Cetus spur, 3409.
Sorry about that.
And Bob, as you get over to S0, you'll be putting in a Richman fair lead at 3410. The adjustable should already be there for it.
Good job.
Just a sec, Bob. Sorry to hold you up.
No worries, Chris. My comm is a little bit quiet. It created during the translation coming here.
Okay.
Copy that, Bob.
I do hear you, so.
All right, Jasmine. One hook of the adjustable is on 3409. It wraps around the cable and back onto the D-ring of the adjustable.
Okay, copy. That sounds good, Chris. And as you head down the Cetus spur, you'll weave your safety tether down the port row of handrails.
Copy that.